Jimmy. Jimmy. Jim James, son!
Welcome back to another episode of the Jim's channel. I'm your host, and today, well, I have an update for you. I have to do a little bit of work on the van because I broke the door handle off. Yes, I still have the Corolla. It's over there behind this dumpster. And as you can see, I am not at the house I used to live in anymore. I finally found a house. Look, there's my little dog right there. Hi, Miss Bella. What are you doing? Go poo-poo, sweetie. Yeah, go poo-poo. You like to poo-poo inside because I adopted you from a couple who did not know how to train you. Anywho, as you can see, I have one more addition to the car family because I am a car hoarder, and there's another one on its way. But to get back to my original plot here, this is my new house. Let's see if I can walk this way a little bit and show you without slipping to death in mud. So here I can work on my cars, and nobody will harass me because it's in arguably a ghetto. Well, it's not arguably. If you walk that way, and about a foot that way is a liquor store. So, still have the Corolla. It's doing pretty good. The only thing that happened is the door handle has broken off, but it's been running absolutely fantastic. I picked up this car for $900 because it was involved in a very slight accident. I'm going to see if I can put some photos here to show you what it looked like before. But I did a couple $100 worth, probably maybe about $1,000 worth of work to it. And after that, it's been running fantastic, and I've had no problems with it. It's got the V6. It's a 2007 EXL, and I've driven it everywhere, really. Driven it to a couple different states even, and it has no problems, despite having 205,000 miles on it. Today we have to do some work to the Previa, because when I was moving, I used this as a moving van, and the people who helped me weren't really paying attention and just sort of snapped the door handle off. But that's my bad for not telling them to be gentle with it. So, and there's me, always wearing this same shirt. I gotta get a new pair of shirts, set of shirts, pair of shirts, I don't know, shirts, okay? But there's the house. It's got one of those wretched swamp coolers. This house next to me is abandoned and has been since the 80s, as you can clearly see. And they've just been trying to clean it out and fix it up, so maybe one day they'll do that. But for now, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and replace this door handle and ramble while I'm doing it. I'm sure some of you are gonna look at this and be like, what the hell happened here? I left the window down maybe this much, maybe, and a cat got in here and peed on everything. I don't understand how a cat could squeeze in and then out. I haven't found said cat in here, but it definitely smells like one. So I'm sort of absorbing all of the filth with this special powder, and then I'm gonna have to steam clean the seats like I did with this car. This car also smelled bad when I got it, and I had the seats steam cleaned, and they are beautiful on the inside. Absolutely love this car. It's just such a smooth riding, fast car, and for the price, I really have no complaints whatsoever. But anyway, what we're gonna do now is fix this door handle like I was saying, and maybe I'll ramble a little bit while I'm doing it. After a few minutes, I finally managed to get this thing free. There is a screw here that's kind of hidden, and then you just jam it this way and pull it out, and it pops loose, and you get a free dog hair. So that's high quality right there. And then you got to take this thing off. A fellow YouTuber actually gave me some advice. His name is Toyota Tarago 1992, and I'm actually friends with him. He basically told me to take this rag, slide it behind here, and wiggle it loose until this little C-pin that you cannot see, which is ironic, comes loose, and then you can pull the door handle off, but you have to wiggle it carefully or you will break it. So that's my next thing, is to get this off, and then I can pull this whole door panel off and get to this screw right here that holds the door handle on. You know, it's so nice and quiet out here. There's nice trees everywhere. The birds are chirping. Electrical power lines are buzzing just overhead, waiting to cause me rectal cancer or some such nonsense. But it's so nice out here. It's not like where I was living before, where it was just constant street noise and people coming by and being irritating. I actually kind of like it out here. All right, the door handle is off. I did manage to remove this handle, and the whole panel came off. And then I also managed to break, I would say, 80% of these fragile, brittle plastic clips. But that's okay, I have extras. I've always been wondering why there's been a noise back here when I drive. That's probably the noise. Never even thought of that, so I can address that while I'm already in here. Now I've got to peel back this curtain and get to the bolts. I think that's one of the bolts, and there should be another one in there, and there should be another one in there, and I should be able to pull the remainder of the door handle out. All the other bolts came out pretty easy, and now this is basically free. The last little irritants is this bastard right here. For some reason, and Toyota's famous for this, they run the marathon until the very last mile, and then on the last mile they fuck it up by putting something like this in there. which you have to have the exact perfect size of screwdriver for, which this is not. I only have a limited amount of tools with me right now because of all the work I've been doing at my actual job. So I'm gonna have to find a way to get this out. I really wish I had a pair of vice grips, but it's looking like I'm gonna have to go buy a pair of vice grips just for this moment here. This is quite frustrating. I'm on the verge of stripping this and I really don't want to. Anyway, and that hurt. So I had the new handle right here. It appears to be exactly the same as the old handle. It'll just go in here. I need to slide in the locking mechanism from the old handle and we should be good to go. After about 25 minutes of fiddling and screaming and cutting myself again, I have it installed. Isn't that nice? Now I can open this sliding door finally. As you can see, the lock rod in here went into place. That's a good name for a porn star. Lock rod.
Yeah, come on in. I'm not really sure exactly what's really wrong with the cable.
That's why they sent me. I am an expert.
I don't know why I'm thinking about that right now. Maybe because of lubrication and sliding and lock rods. But it went into place properly. All the bolt holes lined up, one right here, one in there, and even one right here. I finally got this free without the use of vice grips because I had to take a hammer and smack on it and turn it while I was smacking it with the hammer, and that finally busted it loose. These come loose no problem because they're low profile heads with very sunken sockets. This is the opposite, so it stinks. I also have to do the door handle to that vehicle at some point. I kind of don't want to do it today, but I might. We'll see how the reassembly process goes. And yes, I cut it like a savage. I'm just going to tape it back up, okay? This van is 30 years old and arguably on its third to last leg, okay? Oh, look, there you go. Perfect. Nothing. Never happened. The reassembly went 80 times easier than the disassembly. The fun part is seeing if when I close the door, if it actually opens again. Wow. I'm impressed. Something from China that actually works. Well, it's a little loose. Not unlike Jennifer Lawrence. But I guess I can get to that today. Why not, right? I've been meaning to do it for probably like, I don't know, 6 months. It didn't last long after I gave it to my dad. My dad is the maestro. He is the magician of breaking things. I can have an item for 10 or 15 years and it never even has a scratch. My dad gets it, that shit is broken in a day. So I guess I'm gonna have to move on to that. All right, now we get to do the door handle on the Corolla, which I've been meaning to do for the better part of 6 months. But first, let's say hi to our friend, Miss Bella. Miss Bella, why do you look so sad, sweetie? Why do you look so sad? Why are you so sad? I'm sorry, I can't let you out. You know what happens when I let you out. You don't listen and you run around like crazy and I can't catch you because you're basically a goblin. I know, my little goblin. I know, my little Teletubby fella. Come here. Come here. I know. I'll see you in a little bit, okay, sweetie? I'll be right back. I gotta go change the door handle. And slip in the mud for like the 5th time. This house was built in the 40s, therefore there were no codes back then, I'm assuming, so they didn't care. This whole place is just sort of very old school. Very, very old school. Anyway, so I already got the door handle loose here. I already pulled this little trim piece off. Now all we got to do is pull the door panel off without completely breaking it. I believe this has to come off, and then we can install this new door handle. Doesn't get much quicker than that. 2 minutes and the whole thing's popped right off. Somebody's definitely been in here before. There's a Pioneer speaker down there. I know these did not come with Pioneer speakers. Man, oh man, those airplanes bother my OCD. But when the airplanes aren't flying overhead, which honestly isn't too often, it's nice to be out here and just be able to actually hear myself think. Not that I have any thoughts that are worth listening to at all, but it's nice. There's trees, there's some cloud cover. It's just nicer than where I was living before, and despite it being slightly in the ghetto, it's actually better. I find that people are nicer around here. They say hi to me, they hold a door open for me. The lower income people of this area are just in general better behaved human beings. I don't know what it is about that. Living with all the rich people has taught me that rich people are assholes. No offense, if you're rich out there, you know, I don't know all of you, so maybe you're not all assholes, but where I was living, all the rich people were dirty, dirty assholes. So let me stop my rambling for a bit and get back to the salt of the earth of replacing this door handle. And this one actually comes off a little too well. This came out pretty easy. This is the old one versus the new one. The new one has 2 bolt holes here, and the old one has 1 bolt hole here. I don't think this is the original. It doesn't look like the original, but I'm not exactly sure. All right, that takes care of that. Opens nice and smooth now. I also lubricated it with some of the old Dobleu. Works real nice. I'm not gonna fix this. That's how it was when I bought it. One of these days, if I can find a nice pair of door panels, I will throw a set of door panels on it. It also desperately needs a dash cover. Look how dirty it is in this car. Again, my dad doesn't take care of much of anything really, so this is how everything, like a plague almost. Everything he touches is quite filthy. You know, I hope in this video it doesn't come off across as me hating my dad or anything, but you have to understand, the generation that I was raised in was misinformed to say you must respect your elders. That is not true, and I'm going to tell you why right now. This is going to be part of my little rant. You must respect your elders when they have shown you that they deserve respect. When they have shown you that they are worthy of respect, then that is perfectly fine, and I have nothing against showing respect. But when somebody repeatedly shows you disrespect, or just doesn't care, and is, what's the word for it, is aloof, and does not take care of their physical possessions like this, see what I'm talking about here? Then there's no reason to respect them, because this is gross. This is truly gross. I would never do this to any car I've owned, even the worst ones I don't do this to, and this is quite a nice little car. I did put the original stereo back in it. I managed to find one of these that was brand new in the box for less than $5 at a garage sale, so I threw that in there and it works great. It's got 189,000 miles now and still running absolutely fantastic. Like I mentioned, I changed the alternator. It's going to be due for its sticker probably in about a week or two here. But other than that, this vehicle has been running absolutely fantastic. In fact, let me see if I can get my keys out of my pocket and start it up real quick for you. Turn off the air. Even the air conditioning is still working the way it's supposed to, so that always surprises me. This is just such a good little car.
And really the world. And I think ultimately we believe that.
Yeah, I'm not listening to NPR. You know how I feel about NPR. Since I'm already finished with this and there's no one really around, let's take a look at this abandoned house, shall we? I think it's maybe since either the 80s or maybe the 90s that this particular house has been abandoned. It's old. This is from the, I want to say the 40s. See, the windows are busted and shit. Completely empty. It's really, there's like holes in the floor. Can you see that right there? This house is just awful. And it's been here since I, got the property next door. But hopefully they'll come and fix it up soon. They said they're going to work on it. You can see there's new stuff in there. So they said they were going to come fix it up. And they've got this lock on it. So hopefully they're being serious and they plan to actually fix this house up. Because it is quite nice. I like the way it looks. It's a spooky little freak show. But yeah, maybe I can do a little more rambling since I'm finished with the repairs. I have to put some air in that tire. And I really wish that dent wasn't there. But I do love these cars. They just run forever, man. Like this thing I've had no problems with. Mechanically, I've had absolutely zero problems with the van. The Honda, however, I find that the newer cars are just not built the same as the old ones. These things are tanks that absolutely run forever. This one, I cleaned the throttle body and I broke it. Just by cleaning the throttle body, I broke it because it's got a drive-by-wire system with a little plastic pinion gear, and if you don't disconnect the battery, then it breaks. So, look, my dad making an appearance, ladies and gentlemen. That's probably the first time ever you've seen him. But really, these new cars, I'm not a big fan. It's a nice little car for sure, and I keep it real clean. You gotta love that. Look how badly the sun has faded that in only a month. But these new ones, I'm just not impressed. I'm just not impressed with Scooby-Dooby-Doo. I'm just not impressed with their quality. This thing does have 200,000 miles and it has held up amazingly well for that mileage, but I suspect the reason is because this is a one-owner vehicle. I did purchase this car from the original owner who's had it since 4 miles, and over the course of the last 15 or so years, she's put at least $7,000 worth of work into it. I have the book, it's about that thick, that she gave me. So this thing has been maintained absolutely flawlessly. That's probably one of the only reasons it's lasted so long. And there are bugs everywhere here. But the new cars, like the ones you see in my newer videos, are just, their quality is kind of not that great. They, especially the ones with the turbos, you probably get about 5-6 years out of one before a turbo craps out, and that's quite a bill. So this is gonna be the end of the video, and hopefully I can produce some more videos. I've released a couple shorts. I'm hoping to release another 10 of just showing general things that people don't understand about cars, or like little hidden things here and there. And hopefully I can do a few more videos. I do work 6 days a week, 12 hours a day, so it is kind of difficult, but I am going to be buying a couple more cars to work on the side in my spare time. and I'll be selling that one. That way I can, you know, produce money for more cars. So thank you guys for watching. This is the update. I am now living in the middle of nowhere, working on cars for a large company that is in the area. So not much to be seen of Mr. Jimmy. Not that anyone cares. I'm sure if you guys are watching this, you know, if you're not a subscriber, you're like, who is this retard rambling about absolutely nothing? It's just my channel, you know. You don't have to watch it if you don't want to. You can leave. That's why when I get negative comments, I just delete them. Because if you don't want to be here, don't. I don't care. Makes no difference to me. The people who want to watch them, watch them. The people who don't. Makes absolutely zero difference to me. So, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate the views, and I will catch you in the next one. See ya.